Hello and welcome. I'm Anna Rose with Beehive Quilt Shop here in Wellington, Kansas, and today we are doing a very special video because we usually would say like one of our favorite designers, but I would say my favorite designers have a new collection of fabric out, and we are just very excited. But the Kaffe Fassett Collective, so Kaffe, Brandon, and Philip, they have this new collection of fabric that just came out from Free Spirit Fabrics, and it is just called February 2026 because that is the name of the collection, and I just couldn't be more excited to show you all of this stuff. So this is going to be a great year for Kaffe fabric, and it's just lots of excitement. So we wanted to give you a special tour of all the bolts. We bought the entire collection, and we have the wide back, and I'm going to show you, Desiree has it all sorted based off of the style of the print. So we're going to show you that and what colors it's available in. And if we've missed anything, we're so sorry. We promise we have it. But we are very excited to start making some kits with this. I can tell you from what I feel like from the interwebs is Kaffe is a prolific author, and typically he comes out with at least one book a year, and the new book is going to be spectacular. And Liza Lucy is their great friend who also helps them publish and put together all the books, and so I'm sure it's going to be exceptional. We're going to do a separate video on a tour of the current Kaffe books that are in print right now, and we'll get to that. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to dive in and start showing you what these prints look like. They're all available on our website, which is beehivequiltshop.com, and we will be making kits for this as soon as we get some more information about the newest book. But for now, you should just buy stash fabric because it's Kaffe and it's wonderful. So I'm going to start with this one, which is a print called Fanfare. And I absolutely love this print. This color is called Dark. Now, I think I can say I've teased Kaffe before because we've seen each other enough times. And I did take one of his 5-day retreats with Brandon, and he always talks about, he has a beautiful vocabulary for everything, especially describing like color and style. And the neat thing is he likes to use the word smolder. And to me, if I was picturing myself in Kaffe's workshop and Brandon's workshop about color, I would say this bolt has a bit of smolder. It's dark. He would use words like inky. It's very cool. But Fanfare has a lot of movement, and it's super fun. And it is available in dark, which is the color I just showed you. This color right here, and with the light shining through it, I don't know how, it looks really cool on my end. It's like a double window pane, but this is the color blue. And as you can see, it's the blues, the greens, a really great maroon. This color is the color red, is how this one's colored, and it's absolutely beautiful. It has pink, several shades of pink, orange, some rust, and green. It's really vibrant, so it's not just hot colors. It really is beautiful. Now this color palette, this one is called brown, but this one really does look like exceptionally cool. I used to like kind of ignore this color that was in the Kaffe color palette, but ever since, I don't remember if I saw, I think it was Country Snowballs, which was a print that was in Quilts on an English Farm. And there was like this brown green color palette in that book. And that's when I started to pay more attention to the color brown. And so we have made some inspiration bundles before called Kaffe Chocolate. Kaffe really does like a good dark chocolate. But this just has a touch of chocolate in it. But really, it's this like very terracotta-y brown undertone that has all these different shades of rust and brown and red and a touch of green, and it just makes it really interesting. So if you have been a fan of Kaffe Fassett Collective for a long time and you've been collecting their fabrics, maybe you haven't fallen in love with this color, but I invite you to check out the Kaffe Chocolate brown prints because they are wonderful. I am a huge fan of polka dots, and I was super excited to see in this collection the two, I'm not 100% sure if they are new colors or if they're republished colors that have been out of print for a while. This is the color Mango, and it is beautiful orange on orange or orange on yellow, but it's just very it's very fresh and alive. It's very yellow, and it's wonderful. This one is wonderful as well. This is called Mallard. This one, I am quite certain this color used to exist before. We've been buying Kaffe fabric for a while, but this is now available again in mallard, and it's gonna look awesome. I don't know if you can see the drape on the table, but I'm sure there are bolts in this collection that it will look spectacular with. We recently just restocked all of the Kaffe spots that exist, and we're gonna make a couple different kits with them. I'm kind of debating whether or not we should do like half yard bundles or fat eighth bundles of all the stripes. But like if you wanted, or spots, if you wanted to acquire all of the current Kaffe spots that are available. I'm just trying to think of what would be the most useful size. Of course, you know, if we all dreamt we could get 1 yard cuts of everything, because that would be nice. But for those of us that can't, you know, maybe we should get fat eighths. You can always let us know what types of Kaffe kits you're looking for. It does help us with our planning. This next print I'm very excited about. This one's one of Brandon's prints. You can also tell which one, if you are fangirls or guys of Kaffe, Brandon, and Philip, you can tell who's made the bolt by the SKU, and this one has BM in it, so I know it's from Brandon. But this is a great new kind of net that's available, and it is called Nets, not just net. But this is available in several colors, and this one is pink, of course, and it has green. Am I getting the sunshine? Can they see the colors well enough? But pink and green is just one of my very favorite color combinations in general, and of course, you know, we would have that option. Now, black and white is one of our, I would just say one of our biggest loves. We're actually, at the time we're filming this video, we're about ready to have a shop hop that's all dedicated to black and white fabric. But this again is Nets, and this is black, or it's black white is actually the name of the color. It's dash. It's like it got married and didn't know if it wanted its new last name or not, but it's black dash white. But Nets is really cool. This is kind of a directional print. If you're, you know, patchwork quilter, that you're always looking at directional stuff, that they're, instead of, if you look at this fabric, it could be diamonds like this. And I don't know the story behind this fabric. I haven't talked to Brandon about it, but this has a traditional diamond, so it's an elongated diamond, and it looks like they're bordered diamonds quilt, or midnight diamonds has been in several books. Of course, a 60-degree diamond ruler kind of helps make the shape when you are making those. I know Quilting Burano is one of the books that has that pattern in there, but I like how he put in this little circle, because it really does make it look like, you know, it could be fishnets, it could be lots of things. And you could also, if you're a collage person like me, these actually centered circles would be wonderful eyeballs. Just saying, if you are a collage person. But there's just a lot of fun with this black and white piece. But if you wanted to do a horizontal net, I think it would be also equally lovely, because it's just geometry. This is another color of the nets. This one is called Aqua, and it is very wonderful with a bright chartreuse. Again, could be great little eyeballs, but it definitely has some awesome piece. It's a good inspiration that if you've thought about making a diamond quilt, diamonds are always forever. It's not just for James Bond or Marilyn Monroe, whatever you're thinking. This was the color gray. This one's really interesting. I don't think I've seen this color combo before. It's really simplistic, but it has a beautiful shade of gray, and then it has this very like coral sunset color. It's very nice. It makes me want to go like shopping and see like which pieces it actually could go with. But it's a really interesting, useful piece. And again, it's that great diamond, which is actually called Nets, is the name of that print. And again, we are looking at the 2026 February collection of Kaffe Fassett. Now this one, I can tell you, this is wild. I haven't seen this one before. Yeah, we have to open this up all the way. This one's designed by Kaffe Fassett, and it's spectacular, and I can tell you, I know that this print is on the front part of the front cover of the new book, but it is like quite exciting. And so it's just huge repeat. It's just phenomenal. You can kind of see, depending on how you want to, you know, cut this apart, there's so many things you could do with it. But like here where my finger is, the middle of this hourglass shape up here, that's about the repeat. Typically when they've done this before, it's about a 24-inch scale, even though this is not a panel. But it does have a dramatic repeat, and you know, you could cut some really cool pleats with this. You could harvest this out and make a really exciting border of something. I mean, it could really look tremendous. So this is again printed length of fabric is like this, nice and vertical. And if you wanted to cut, sorry, this is length. Yeah, this is length of fabric, and the width of fabric is where these diamond prints are. So basically, you should buy like 8 yards of this print because you just don't know how you're going to cut it up, and it's just so cool. And I've never seen it before. And what if they take it away and it doesn't get to be in the stash? Anyway, it's just quite marvelous. So I would recommend buying lots of it. But truly, if you were going to be stashing this one for a quilt, I do think 3 yards is a very useful quantity of fabric to buy because of the ability to cut length of fabric borders up to a king size. I do think that that's really nice. Whether you are just now getting introduced to the Kaffe Fassett Collective or you've been following them for years, they do love medallion quilts. They're in a lot of their both free patterns and patterns that are in books. And when you have a medallion quilt, of course it's like one giant log cabin or courthouse steps, really more of a courthouse steps as a medallion quilt. And elongated, it makes a nice little rectangle, but you start with a big thing in the center, and then it's really just borders, big dramatic borders, so that you can do a lot of play with color. But look at this one. This one is so cool. So again, oh, and I didn't even tell you the name of this one, this print. I got too excited. It's called Spike. So here's Spike. Beautiful, beautiful Spike in this pastel palette. It is called Pastel is the color of this. And let's see if I can be as original. And I'm of course standing here at Beehive Quilt Shop. We're a brick and mortar store and we sell online in Wellington. And this is like our wall of Kaffe. And by the wall of Kaffe, I mean we have the wall of Kaffe, we have the rack of Kaffe, and we have my Kaffe stash that's upstairs for when we cut kits as well. And we have a whole stash of books and patterns. But this is both of, I just think this is just such a dramatic print. And again, it's called Spike. And it's from the February 2026 collection. And I think it's wonderful. We have some people here that you might hear them laughing. We are a joyful store. So again, Spike, this color was called Cool. And this other one I showed you is called Pastel. And buy as much as you can, but buy at least 3 yards because it's just cool. Or at least, you just should buy at least maybe 2. If you can't do 3, do 2. But do 3. It's just fun. But that's just neat. So we're moving on to another flower. This one is called Cactus Dahlia, and this is the color Spring. I think this one is it's very fresh. So many of the fabrics that they have are flowers, and they are tossed, but like you can have a direction like this, or to me it looks just even better if it's like this. Not that it's directional, but that is just pure happiness in a bolt of fabric. And again, it's called Cactus Dahlia, and it's the color Spring. It just looks so beautiful. There's actually there's a Kaffe book called Bold Blooms that has the original seed packet pattern in there, and Bold Blooms has this wonderful quilt. I think it's called Sunshine, but it's a little more complicated than oh my gosh, I just said the name of the quilt. It's a little more complicated than seed packet, but it's a beautiful way to fussy cut things. And it has all these colors of citrus, these yellows, oranges, and pinks. And I feel like if you were doing that one in Bold Blooms, that this spring Dahlia, Dahlia would be just lovely. This one is, I'm sure, probably called Contrast. And again, this is that Dahlia, but in contrast. So it's super dramatic, has some great highlight of kind of a peachy gray and like an off-white. It's not like a pure white, but it is really nice. And that, of course, could play really nice with browns. It could do all kinds of stuff. Let's go to this one. This is called Voluptuous. So these big flowers are really well known, of course, because of the seed packet quilt and how important it is to have big blooms that you can fussy cut. Depending on which pattern you're using, you may be harvesting a 6, 7, or 8.5 inch large bloom for that piece for the main icons, but those are just really typical sizes that you can cut these flowers out of. But I think this is super dramatic. It has like very much like a dark Betty's green, like from the 30s, but it has these really kind of antique flowers. The leaves are that way. It almost is like it's a dried flower, but that the floral just dried out beautifully. But I just think it's awesome. It actually has I didn't realize it actually has a bit of hydrangea in it. I was looking through my stash last night and I noticed I just noticed how much pretty fabric I have, and that was just so fun to do. This one is called Voluptuous, but this one is the color palette Pastel, and it's just gorgeous. We have the day we're filming this, it's like very stormy outside, or I can't decide if it's sunny or if it's stormy. So if our lighting is changing, it's because we operate off of natural sunlight. We don't have the fancy ring lights. But this, I think this is just absolutely stunning. I believe, isn't this the color of the wide back, Desiree? Right? We'll get to it over here, but just know that this, not that necessarily the wide back dictates like the theme of the collection, but this is just like an absolutely gorgeous piece of material. It is again called Voluptuous Pastel, and this is the February 2026 collection. And you can just see if this were a dress, you would just, I don't know, a muumuu. I feel like you would want to just live in this. Maybe this should be curtains. A cape, jacket, a quilted garment, a scarf. You should just like outfit your whole self. Like buy a bolt of this, except for I do think I have several. If not, we typically order the entire collection of Kaffe like every time. We were really lucky, and in 2020. Oh, yeah. Should we do the sound? Can you hear me? You may need to turn up your volume. Some people, I'm getting great sound here. So if you are getting some sound and you're on Facebook watching this, you actually may need to change the sound of your device, except for you probably can't hear me saying that because you don't have sound. But anyway, just know that this will be on YouTube as well. I bet are multiple people saying that there's no sound? I'm gonna see if this works better or not. We'll see. But the cool thing is the YouTube phone should be live. So if you're just joining us, you'll hear the echoes of Beehive Quilt Shop. But we are filming this for YouTube as well. So if you did miss the first part of it on Facebook, it will be on YouTube. But we've been talking about this print, which I think is like the best, not the best one. They're all amazing, but this one's called Voluptuous. Someone once asked Kaffe if he had a favorite color or flower. I think it was a favorite color. And that might have even been Kellyanne that asked that question. And he said, I could never pick a favorite color because that'd be like picking your favorite child. And I thought that was very wise. So this is just an excellent print. And again, it's called Voluptuous, and it is the color Pastel, and it is also the color of the wide back from the collection. This one is Voluptuous in dark. And you can see here, this is just like, this is obviously not a patriotic print, but to me, if you were going to make a patriotic Kaffe quilt, I think this one would be quite nice because it's red and blue and a little bit of that antique-y color. It's got the hydrangeas and several different flowers that are in here. But voluptuous is just a fun word to say. If you're watching us on Facebook, can you hear us now? If you can't hear us now, then it really is probably from your phone, right? Probably. So if you did have errors, there we go. This print is also really cool. This is obviously a directional piece. This one is called Hyasin, and it looks like this. It's got some great outlining, some great floral design, but it really looks dramatic. You know, Kaffe could have left this just the flower print, but I really think the outline with the black really made it quite dramatic. And it just looks really interesting. And again, this is called Hyasin, and this is the color Duck Egg. Now, Duck Egg for us, that color for Kaffe is very famous in Beehive Quilt Shop because Duck Egg is the color of one of the spots, and it's the color that Mary Jane used on the back of her French roses that she did out of Kaffe fabric. So we go through bolts and bolts and bolts of Duck Egg. It's very iconic. This is another one of Hyasin, and this is the color Red. Very dramatic. It's really more of it's a very beautiful orange on the background. It's like a red orange. It's definitely more red than pumpkin, and it has like really nice rust colors. I love when purple and pink are together, and I think this is really interesting because it has the pastel purples with just that little spark of blue coming out of it. You know, like flowers are just the coolest. They just are. This is another one of the Hyasin, but this is officially the color Blue. This one, again, is really dramatic. It's got that really beautiful indigo background and great purples. This one has, again, all that black outlining, which looks really cool. There's another print from a previous collection called, let's let's see if I can say it. It's called cloisine. It's the name of like the Asian style of pottery that has like all this, I don't remember if it's done out of like copper and then they fill it in, but I got to go to a cool factory that did that in China when I was in college, and it was so cool to see it done, but I'm pretty sure it's called cloisine. But you know, I'm trying my best here. This next one, should we show stripes first? Yeah. We'll show stripes next. All the stripes are called Echo Stripe. This is the color magenta. This is the color red. We'll see if we can get them to fan. Let's see how many bolts I can hold. This is red. This one is contrast, which really is contrast and pastels are very much friends. This next one is blue. We'll see how much of a magic trick this is. Then we have this green and pink one, which is called green, and it's just spectacular. So there are 5 new stripes, and again, they are magenta, red, contrast, blue, and green. Oh, they look like the egg amazing eggs. That's so fun. That's a great, but it's just like, don't you just want to take all the stripes home? I mean, yeah. I'm so fortunate to work at Beehive Quilt Shop where I can see Kaffe fabric every day by the bolt. I'm just going to drape these here over on the table by the side. We had one of these that was sneaking. There's actually 3 of these prints, and it's called Hot. So if you're just joining us on Facebook, we don't know if we had some sound issues or if it was people's phones, but this is Spike. This is one of the coolest geometric prints that I've ever seen Kaffe do. We think this is about a 24-inch repeat, and I'll dig out the other colors, but this again is called Spike is the name of this print, and I recommend buying 3 yards of it. Let's see if I can get it in my treasure trove behind me. This is also available in this color, which was pastel. So we have hot and pastel, super beautiful. And then there's also, if you are a jewel tone girl or guy, this one is called cool. So we have cool, we have hot, and we have pastel. So this, again, is just really dramatic. It also makes me want to go to like the circus. I feel like it's just really wonderful. You know, if only you were here, you'd probably be applauding, right? Like a big audience. This next print. Oh, good. We're getting lots of hearts. Oh, that's great. I'm glad you guys like this as much. We luckily, we get to make our own schedules every day. And so it was just like, we should do this today. So it's kind of nice that you're liking it, and I'm glad we're doing it. It's just a lot of fun. This is a really beautiful new flower. And it's called Rosie. It's not named after me, but that is my nickname. Rosie, that's really fun. There's another gal here who works, her name is actually Rosetta, but she goes by Rosie. And so that's my childhood nickname. That's what my mom calls me, is Rosie. And but my husband doesn't call me Rosie. So most people in Wellington in the Beehive community haven't learned to call me Rosie. But I just think that this is secretly pretty marvelous that this rose is colored. It's called Rosie. And fun fact, Brandon gave Kaffe his own rose. Like, you can name like stars and like give them to somebody. And there is a rose that is, I don't know if it's called the Kaffe rose or what it's called, but you can read about it on the Kaffe Collective website. This one is just simply marvelous. If I had to guess here just from looking, the big medallion rose, like if you really wanted to harvest that entire piece here, you could easily get a 12.5-inch square. If you were going to go much tighter and kind of clip off some of these the leaves, you could probably get an 8.5-inch square, but a 12.5 would be really dramatic. But this would be perfect for the center of a medallion. And this is the color Sky. It's a beautiful periwinkle background of the blue. It's very nice. This is Rosie in red. So we have Sky Rosie, we have Red Rosie, we have, this one is just marvelous. This one is green, but that green and pink is just like, there's just something about that just looks stunning. There's one of the pictures that Kaffe has in his presentation and is in one of his books. I don't remember which one, but he has like his whole table set up, and it's like, I can't remember if it's Kaffe Quilts in Grandeur but he has this beautiful table place setting, and he has like leaves that really, or plates that look like cabbage leaves, and it's just stunning. I don't know if that's part of his inspiration from the brassica print, but you know, if you were going to have just a lovely garden party, wouldn't this be just be fabulous? Napkins, table runner, I don't know, just everything. And this one is just, it's so wonderful. This one is cool. So when Katie was putting this in the computer yesterday, she's like, I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but there's a flower called Rosie, and she's like, and there's one that's called Cool. So it's like Cool Rosie, you know, it's just fun, but it's really dramatic. It has a beautiful dark black background with blues and purples, and it's a stunner. It's a stunner. I don't know, can you see my creative stacking job? I'm sure for those of you who are very orderly, you know, you'll just have to hang with me. You'll have to hang with me. This next piece, it's just an ever-flowing pile. It's, you know, I probably would need 4 people picking up after me if I really were to stay neat and tidy. This one is called Sand Dollar, and this is a print that's done by Brandon, but it's available in 3 different colors that we've got here. So this one is blue, we have purple, and we have pink. So those are all 3 of the colors. Again, sand dollars are awesome. If you have followed Brandon for a long time, you know that he loves the documentary My Octopus Teacher that you can watch on Netflix. He has a beautiful octopus somewhere over here. He's had it in several prints, but an octopus lives in the ocean, of course, and so do sand dollars. So that's a lot of fun. If you're also a collage person, I bet these sand dollars would make really good eyeballs. So just saying. Or fish scales, lots of cool things you could do there. A couple more prints we have to show you. We have some big flowers that are left. This one is designed by, this is Kaffe. Kaffes are called GP. He always has GP in the title of his. This one is a print called Pinking, and this is pastel, blue, and red. So really interesting, cool piece. Definitely this looks like it would be perfect to do like a 3.5-inch fussy cut, but it's just a really dramatic black background. We have a fat quarter bundle because we do a lot with Villa Rosa patterns at Beehive, and we have one that we made called Black Magic, and it has not all, but it has 12 different dramatic black backgrounds with a big floral print, and they just look spectacular. Again, this is Cool Rosie if you're just now joining us. I'm going to set these. There's like 50 bolts here. We're just going to take a hot minute. I'm going to stack these back up. Here's a stripe. I wonder if there's still one more stack, because usually they'd have more. These front two. This is a new piece. This one is called Herringbone Stripe in orange, and it's just quite nice. Yeah. I don't know, there could be another stack, but like I said at the beginning of this video, we bought the entire 2026, or it's called February 2026 bundle, and we're just giving you a tour of all the new bolts that are here in the Kaffe Collective under that SKU. And if we've missed any colors, it's just because we have so much fabric. But you're getting a tour of at least 80% of it no matter what. But it's quite nice. This one, it's almost the best for last, but it's also the hardest to pronounce. We think this is called Bouffant. And anyway, it's a new flower for us. We haven't done a lot of Googling about it yet, but it is like, it's just gorgeous. Like, I don't know how many hearts you guys are giving this, but
this type of texture in the floral world is often referred to as candy cane because of the striped of the flower.
I like that term. So it's a candy cane. It's variegated. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. So this color is called Contrast. This color, I just love them all. This color is called Blue, and they've got that beautiful traditional yellow center. This one, I bet is called, it's called Cool. This one's called Cool. It has that magenta, the blue, and that really antique Betty's green, but this one has a bit more blue to it, so it's almost more of a sea glass. It's very lovely. Oh, and this one, oh my gosh, this one. This is called Rose Bloom. So there's a print called Rosie. This is Rosie in the collection, and this is Rose Bloom, and it is absolutely stunning. It is going to be perfect for seed packet quilts. Again, there's a whole book called Bold Blooms that talks so much about what you can do when you are fussy cutting these big dramatic prints. I love the really, we should call it a spicy background because it has that red and white, like I always think of it as a Hawaiian print. Like sometimes when people come to the Kaffe wall and they've never used Kaffe before, it's so colorful. And I think most people know at this point that any type of fabric is for any person. But sometimes when people are making projects even for men, Kaffe really does go so well because most men like loud fabrics and they like Hawaiian shirts. Like there's a reason why it's very iconic for men to wear Hawaiian shirts and women wear big floral dresses. Like both of us need to be draped in flowers at all times. It's just the nature of the world. One time we had a lady that came in here and she's like, my son, he loves to barbecue and he really wanted a loud apron. She's like, what do you have that would be like a loud men's apron? And we came straight to the Kaffe wall and she got one of the big prints and it was just really fun. But I loved that was the setup. My son loves to barbecue and he wants a loud apron. Boom, Kaffe is the perfect solution. So that was just fun. This one again is Rose Bloom, and this is.
I know you're in heaven right now.
Right? Like, can you just tell? I'm so excited. This is Rose Bloom.
Ooh, I like it.
It is. It looks more of like the, I don't know. It just looks like a wonderful garden. I would want to go see. Like, well, Allison has a sunroom. You know, like people, if you have a sunroom, like this just looks like if you were gonna have, you know, a little bit of a late morning tea in a sunroom. I think this would be what it is. But it's just gorgeous. It does have this like. It's just softer. It's just a little softer. This background is a gray with like a very light celery color. Is the background there, and it's just beautiful. And of course, these like big flowers like this, these are ones that are designed by Philip Jacobs, but Kaffe Fassett colors everything. He's in charge of the color. And so this flower was made by Philip Jacobs here, but Kaffe did all the coloring. So this one has like a light blue gray background with, I'm not quite sure if this is black or if it really is a dark navy. But this one is really fresh with the green and the really vibrant blues that are there. And this is called Blue. But this is Rose Bloom is the name of this print. So if you were had the seed packet quilt that was on your list to do, I really do. I've taught it before as a class and watched Kaffe and Brandon teach it. Plus we have the book Bold Blooms that talks more about that, but really it's best if you have half yard cuts at a minimum to do with these big blooms, because once you start harvesting 6, 7, or 8.5 inch florals for that quilt, you really are going to go through fabric faster than you think. I do think that half yards are wonderful. If you can get 2/3 of a yard, that's even better. 3/4 or 1 yard, of course, you just get more. But the neat thing about how these Kaffe Fassett Collective fabrics are designed is that you get, when you buy like a big floral, like especially like this bolt, you aren't just getting one rose, like you're getting several different roses that are colored differently. So even from one print, you can have, it's very possible to have a seed packet quilt where you don't have hardly any repeats of the exact same bloom throughout the piece, just by operating off of that. But if you are interested in seed packet projects, over time we make all kinds of different inspiration bundles that are something to get you started, whether you have a big Kaffe stash or not. This last print I have to show you from the collection, other than the pre-cuts and the wide back, is called Romance. And this one, Desiree and I had a lot of fun talking about this morning, because this is cool romance. This one is called Hot Romance, and this one is called Warm Romance. So we have warm romance, we have hot romance, and we have cool romance here in the Kaffe Fassett Collective. So it's just pretty spectacular. I'm going to reach over here and I'm going to grab these two little pre-cuts, but we do have pre-cuts from the collection. The Kaffe Fassett Collective has a ton of different pre-cuts. This one is the cool colorway and this one is the warm colorway. So both of those are the pre-cut colors for the February 2026 Kaffe Fassett Collective that just launched from Free Spirit Fabrics. We are so excited about this. I can't wait to cut it up and to do some prints. Know that 2026 is going to be a spectacular year, and we are still just oozing from all the inspiration that we got from Kaffe and Brandon being here in 2024 from their Power of Color lecture series. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour. I'm going to grab the wide back real quick, and then we are going to get to filming one other video after we get to touch all this fabric one more time and make sure it's all pretty on the wall. But this here is the beautiful, luxurious wide back that is called Voluptuous, and this is the color pastel. So this one is available in a 42-inch fabric, 44-inch fabric. That's the same print, but it's a different scale. If you've never bought a Kaffe Fassett wide back before, they have a sateen finish. It is still 100% cotton, but it feels very silky, and it is comparable to what was called, oh, now the name just escaped me. But anyway, the important thing is this is a sateen wide back. It's so silky, washes just like 100% cotton. It is 100% cotton, but it has beautiful Kaffe fabric on the front. It's just gorgeous. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour. Again, we are Beehive Quilt Shop in Wellington, Kansas. We are brick and mortar and online. We're going to have lots of inspiration. We have a huge Kaffe Fassett Collective here at the quilt shop, as well as making lots of kits. And we have all of the books that are currently in print from Kaffe. So we are a great place to shop for Kaffe inspiration. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a colorful week.